So good to be smiling again after a Proteas win. And we are going to be reviewing the first T20I between South Africa and Ireland as South Africa completely smashed Ireland by 8 wickets in the first T20I in Abu Dhabi. A completely dominant performance from South Africa with the bat, particularly. There's a lot of talking points when it comes to the ball. But the main thing that we can say and the main thing we can talk about is how the South Africans stepped up with the bat. And that is the main thing from a South African standpoint. Chasing as well. On a ground where 150 or 160 should be enough. But we're going to have to talk about everything and we're going to have to talk about the entire match and not just the highlights and the main um, talking points when it comes to this being all the happy-go-lucky stuff. So I'm going to be talking about everything on today's show and analyzing the entire match for you guys on today's show. But before we get going, before we get started, there is a couple of things I'd like you guys to please do. First and foremost, subscribe. Oh, sorry. A little bit too excited there to start the show. First and foremost, subscribe to the channel, click that notification bell for all future videos. Also, smash that like button, comment as well as share. And I please would like you guys to comment in the comment section after this stream has ended. It's very important that you guys do that as well, not just commenting in the live chat, but also in the comment section after we've ended the stream. So, finally, without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. I'm looking forward to discussing this match with you guys. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your review show. I'm your host, Khalid Reviews, and this is the show where we're going to be talking about everything that happened in the first T20I between South Africa and Ireland. So let's get straight into it. I'm going to start off with the main event, and that was the batting. I first have to say, first and foremost, that the batting was really good, and particularly the Ryan Rickelton that stepped up. And I just wanted to start off the show by saying congratulations to Ryan Rickelton for scoring his maiden half century. But let's go to the beginning of this match and what actually took place from a South African standpoint. So, first and foremost, nope, no updates there, please. First and foremost, I would like to just talk about us winning the toss and electing to bowl first. A brave move by Maiden Markram on a wicket that I feel they would be relatively unfamiliar with, even though they played 2 games in the World Cup there against both Australia and Bangladesh in 2021. They had 1 defeat and 1 loss and 1 victory on that particular wicket. So I'm going to be talking about the bowling first and foremost. And I have to say, we started off very poorly with the ball. I was happy to see Lazard Williams back in the side again and getting given another chance, but he didn't get his first over off to a good start. I think he went for 16 runs in the first over, and Ireland were kind of on top of us in the power play. But Vian Mulder came in to the attack, and I think it was good captaincy from Aiden Markham to realize that the full out pace on this wicket wasn't necessarily the way to go. And he actually got the breakthrough by dismissing Rossade, who tried to continue his confident batting style and he can try to continue his aggressive batting style throughout this particular over, throughout the second over as well as in the first over. So he tried to continue that, but he actually ended up being dismissed by Vian Mulder over there, caught by Stubbs. A very good catch by Stubbs. It was brilliant from him. Obviously at long on. So that was something that I was happy for at that particular time. And then we followed that up in the following over with a Paul Sterling wicket, and it was a very good wicket, I would say, from Otniel Bartman. Sliced him completely in half. Very good line and length, and I wanted the Proteas to keep that line and length throughout the match, but that wasn't the case. We did get another wicket in the seventh over. Harry Tector was dismissed, and this time it was by Bjorn Fortuin. I was really happy that he got a wicket. He was supposed to get another wicket shortly after that, but Otniel Batman dropped the batter, so he didn't get his second wicket. But I think Bjorn Fortuin bowled really well today. I didn't think it was his best performance, but it wasn't his worst. He got 1 for 28 in his four. I think he pulled it back nicely as well in the match. But after the detector wicket, after they were 64 for three, Ireland came back into the match, and you wouldn't count Curtis Camphor out against South Africa. Every time he plays South Africa, he scores runs. And today, he was so close to getting a half century. He went out on 49 of 36 balls after six fours and a six. But his partnership with Neil Rock was fantastic. I think it was 100. It was a can't remember exactly what the partnership was. Um, but yeah, they put on a good partnership over there to I think it was 657 or 57, I think it was, that they scored together as a pair. And they took them to 123 for four after 13.3 overs. And that was the partnership that really got Ireland back into the running, and set them up for a good total. At least Ngaba Peter got a wicket, beautiful wicket to dismiss Neil Rock, who was looking very dangerous after he passed his highest score in T20 cricket. But Curtis Camphor and George Dockerell continued their great momentum, and they ended up putting on an extra 20 odd runs as well, 30 odd runs as well, to take them to a decent total of 158 for five after 17 and a half overs. And that's when we started getting in the panic mode. I think some of us might have been a little bit worried at that point in the match, because we knew that anything 150, that would be easily chaseable from a South African standpoint, just given the form that we were in. But we also have to remember that we're in a different format here. I feel quite confident with our T20 team in general. Yes, I guess there's still a lot to learn with this team. There's a lot of confidence building that needs to happen. And these youngsters, these new guys that are playing in this team right now, need to obviously show what they're capable of. But they got to 169 for six. George Dockrell was important to that as well. Um, and yeah, Patrick Kruger, it was the start of his onslaught, because in that over, the final over, they could have pushed on possibly to 70 to 180 if Doctor stayed at the crease. But Patrick Kruger bowling at the death, I was quite impressed with the fact that they braved that out and gave him the opportunity to bowl the death over, even when they have Otniel Bartman in the side. They didn't turn to the experience. They went with a newer guy in the side. And Patrick Kruger was brilliant. He only conceded 2 runs in that over, but it were both leg byes, so it doesn't really count to his total conceded. But he was excellent. He picked up 4 wickets, 4 for 27 in the end, and he basically just took out majority of the you could say all rounders to tail enders, that came out to the middle. He kind of just completely dominated them and actually took wickets, 3 wickets, 4 wickets in that over, and it was fantastic from him. He took out. He took 3 wickets in that over. Sorry, George Dockrell. He took out Fionn Head and Mark Adair, and they were all out for 170 after the 20 overs. Then came the nervy time, because we know Reza Hendricks under a lot of pressure, a guy that isn't necessarily in greatest of form. It's foreign conditions. It's a wicket that's a little bit slower than per usual. You know that he's very good on the high felt when the ball's bouncing onto the bat quite easily, and he's been struggling since the World Cup, West Indies series, etc. And fans wanted his head throughout the shows that I've been doing since, everybody's been talking about how they want Reza to get dropped. And today, he batted absolutely beautifully. 51 of 33 balls, 5 4s, 3 6s, a strike rate of 154. We can't really say that he did anything wrong from this perspective, other than maybe getting caught like that again, LBW, in a match. But he put on 136 runs with Reza Hendricks, which is the highest T20I opening partnership outside of South Africa for the Proteas. So it was a brilliant performance from both Reza and Ryan. Ryan led the charge here. I'm going to emphasize that he led the charge here. He got the ball rolling. And then to really get the partnership knitted together, he was looking more confident than Reza until Reza hit those 3 4s in that one over. And things just spun around in his favor, and he started going as well. He actually scored. Ryan Rickelton was phenomenal. He scored 6 6s and 3 4s, 76 or 48 balls. Fantastic performance from Ryan Rickelton. And I'm so happy that he had a good, solid game behind the stumps, and he had a good opening batting performance as well. He was really good. The only downfall there was that him and Reza didn't take us completely over the line. And that's a little bit being overly critical about something that doesn't necessarily need to be criticized. But he fell shortly after Reza Hendricks, which is something that I would like South Africa to fix, because I know they say once one wicket falls, the window opens for the next one. And usually a wicket falls again shortly after. And it was like 5 balls later that he lost his wicket. So 6 balls later, 5 balls later, he lost his wicket. So yeah, that was unfortunate from a Ryan Rickelton perspective. South Africa were then reduced to 138 for 2, and we needed like 33 or 37 balls to win the match. And Matthew Bretsky and Aiden Markram batted with freedom, confidence, took South Africa over the line. Matthew hit 1 6, a beautiful 6, and 2 4s, striker of 135 for his 14 ball 19. And Aiden Markram scored 17 of 12, 3 4s, a strike rate of 141.66, and South Africa won by 8 wickets with 14 balls remaining. So 1-0 up in the series. Really happy about that. I was really impressed with the way the Proteas batted and approached this. And yeah, the first win under our belt, and I want to see a complete domination from this Proteas side. Make a statement and silence some of the very overly critical fans that have been criticizing this national team because of the losses. Rightfully so, but it would be nice to obviously silence some of the critics as well by putting in a very good performance and show that South Africa is in the right direction. So we've got a caller on the line. We've got Kelly with us. Welcome to the show. What would you like to say, and how are you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, and you?
Sorry, let me just
Much happier
turn
than
this
usual.
down. Sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
Okay. Sorry about that. I was just turning the other volume off. No, I was just looking at some of the comments there. I was actually really pleased that that Ryan's got that monkey off his back. I know it's not necessarily the world's greatest bowling attack, but the first one is probably the hardest. And Matthew, aside from, again, one terribly called village, almost run out, played some lovely shots too. Like all of the batsmen really got what they needed, which is time in the middle. Because to date, the only one who has had it, other than, well, Aiden got some today, is Stubbs. So he didn't need to do it, which is also a plus.
Yeah, could have
And
basically
then
had a
also
rest besides being in the field.
he took a catch. But yeah, basically he could have a rest. Hopefully Ryan's knees are right. He wasn't feeling it when he was batting. Also, props to Patrick Kruger. He often does not bowl at the death. Actually,
Yeah.
never bowls at the death.
I was shocked by that decision, actually.
He really doesn't. He doesn't. And the thing is, I think it's his knowledge of the slower pitches from bowling at St. George's. he executed slightly back of a length slower balls, and they really struggled with them instead of pushing for Yorker length and slipping. Which, often would have happened had they tried too hard, rubbed the ball too much, worked on it too much. It would have gone all over the place. I mean, there were a lot of wides during the back end of the Irish bowler spells. They weren't quite sure where to bowl. I don't think they knew how to pick the slower balls as well, because that's a very particular skill. And they play on a lot of artificial wickets. So bowling first was probably the right idea, especially, considering it helps spinners as well. You don't. I wouldn't want the ball to slide on under lights.
And I don't want to get overly confident here and necessarily personally. So I'm going to ask you about, as a fan, how do you feel after this victory? And it's a step in the right direction, I guess, but we shouldn't get too excited about this, really.
No. I don't think it's about the. I don't think it's about the victory. I think it is about some players finally get, performing on the international stage. Doesn't necessarily matter who it's against. Getting the first one out of the way. The next hurdle might be the second one. That might take another year. With Stubbs, it took his second 50 was only now. It took Rickelton so many innings, well, not so many, but I mean, it took him several innings across formats to not throw his wicket away. And this will do wonders for his confidence. And Matthew also started to show a lot more confidence. He wasn't playing shots that were within his comfort zone only. He experiments a little bit. And Reza started cutting loose as well. And obviously Aiden from the last match is now carrying on momentum. Like, the momentum is really important. The time you spend at the crease actually means a lot regardless of who you're facing.
And I guess also reading the conditions and getting familiar with them as well. That's also very important. But Kelly, for the next game, just your thoughts on that, and your final words about the team. Maybe for the next game, what you think should happen, any changes you want to see, or do you want to see the same 11 take the field?
I still want to see this. I want to see more of the spinners. But it's not a really spin friendly wicket if they play on the same surface. They did really well, but I think we could have done with, maybe another seamer. But I'm trying to think who else we could go for. I mean, Mulder's. We sort of need him for his bowling. I don't know if Andila has done enough bowling. He's with the side, is he not?
Not with the squad. No.
Not the T20 side, man. Is there
Yeah,
anyone
so
who hasn't been given an opportunity?
Here's the squad for you. So it's
Sorry, I'm just
Andile
having a look.
Simnani, Jason Smith, Nandre Berger, Lungingiri. Those are the only players that didn't play.
Yeah. I highly doubt that Aiden also. Ryan's made runs. They might open with Matt. I don't necessarily want players to go just as passengers. So I think Jason Smith should bat slightly up the order. Stubbs doesn't necessarily need to play. I mean, his position in the T20 squad is not. It shouldn't be up for debate.
Yeah, shouldn't.
We are obviously looking for openers and a backup.
Definitely.
So I think that they need to play. And
also sevens as well.
Pardon?
Batting all rounders as well. We need so.
Yes, I think they need to play. Or maybe now that we've seen what Vian can do and has done, or we've seen what Pat can do and has done as well. Otniel must play. Fielding was poor. Could do a bit better. It's quite difficult because we know this is not going to be our go-to side.
Yeah, of course not. And that's why I'm posing it to the fans to ask them exactly why, what they would like to see. Personally, it's a personal opinion. There's no right answer or wrong answer.
Yeah, I think.
What would you like to see if based on what we need and what we need to do?
I would keep I don't think Aiden necessarily needs the runs, but he is the captain. Changing captains not ideal either. I think Matthew has to play. Rickelton should play. He should keep the momentum going. Possibly bring in the Jason Smith up the order. And I want Gaba Pizza to keep playing. I think that's important.
Okay, cool. Kelly, thanks a lot.
And Lungi, obviously.
And Lungi, let's see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen with Lungi. Apparently, I don't know how
if he fits, I think so.
Yeah. Okay, Kelly, thanks a lot for calling in and having your say. I'm going to bring on the next caller now. So thank you for calling on. So I'll chat to you soon. Okay, so Sarfaraz is in the back end. Welcome to the show, brother. What would you like to say?
Thank you, man. Actually, I wanted to ask this thing. Okay, why is South Africa actually playing a series against Ireland in UAE, man? I don't understand. I mean, what is the spec? No, will you say okay? Nothing. No, actually, I'm wondering. Means
I wasn't sure if
what
you
is
will
this?
see this shop. Sorry.
No, but what is this? What they have to gain? I don't understand. I mean, if I know Ireland is the home side, so why they are not playing in Ireland? I don't understand. I mean, signing with UAE and playing there. I mean, see, thing is that if you're playing against a team, you should either play in South Africa or either play in Ireland, man. Come on, man. I don't understand what is the deal with playing in UAE. I mean, Afghanistan case I know. Afghanistan is headquartered in UAE, so I can understand that thing. But why is Ireland playing against South Africa in UAE, man? I know I heard something about a deal. Yeah. You want to say something?
Yeah, so from what I read up about it, so apparently it got to do with the infrastructure constraints that they have in Ireland, that the stadiums aren't 100% ready. It's also not summer there as well, but apparently their grounds aren't ready to host cricket games at the moment, so they're playing in the UAE for that, or Dubai for that reason. Oh, Abu Dhabi, sorry, for that reason. From what
Anyway,
that's what I heard.
no, I mean this quite unfortunate if this is the case. I mean somebody is saying that it is winter in Ireland, so that may be the case. but still, Ireland, I had a lot of hope for them. The kind of progress they were making. It's quite unfortunate that they were not able to build infrastructure in time. Anyways, so
But don't you
talking about the
think?
game,
But don't you think that's a good thing for Ireland, though, to play in conditions like this? That will teach them a lot about the younger guys and their bowlers as well and what they need to work on. Don't you think it's actually a good thing for Ireland, from an Ireland perspective? Maybe if South Africa, maybe if we completely whitewash them convincingly in all three games with big victories, then maybe it wouldn't have been a good series from a South African standpoint, from a learning perspective. But from an island perspective, don't you think it would be a good test for them and a good learning curve?
yeah, definitely. I think so. Playing in such condition, which is kind of aiding spinners and all. So I think so. It will help the batters, to how to face those balls or spinners, to face those spinners on a condition that favors them. So yeah, definitely that angle I can understand. But you know, I, I have been hearing about Ireland cricket not paying their payments on time and all. I hope they get the things right because I have high hopes along with Scotland. I think so. Ireland is another team that I have high hopes, to finally come out of the associate status. Anyways, coming back to the game. Um, First of all, I mean, great bowling. I've been hearing about this guy, this Kruger guy. I've been hearing that he's a next big all rounder, and it's great that he took 4 wickets. I want to see how he performs with bat because South Africa desperately needs a pace bowling all rounder, which has I mean we talked about it in the last year World Cup also. That the number 7 spot. That whether Marco Jansen can perform or not. But see, I still have hopes for Marco. But what today I have seen there, I've seen a lot of promises from Kruger. Let's see what he does. I mean, is he in the ODS squad, right?
Patrick Kruger.
Yeah, Patrick.
Let me just double check that for you. I have the squads over here somewhere. What's this? No, that's the wrong one. Over here, that was against Ireland. He is not. He has
Okay, I
the
think so. They
ODI
should
squad against Ireland.
and delays there. I mean,
I don't
no, I
know
think
what the
so.
I don't know why they keep selecting Adelia. I really don't understand it. But like, I mean, I'm never not, if a player gets selected, like in a squad and plays, I'm never not going to back them because that's just my nature. I'm going to always want them to do well if they get selected. But obviously, leading up to the selections and the talking about who should be selected, he was not in my list to as the next all rounder because for me, he's a bowling all rounder, and I feel we have two. We've got Gerald Coetzee and we've got Marco Jansen. So he definitely doesn't get in the side over them, those two players. And then on top of it, we're looking for a batting all rounder. So give as many batting all rounders opportunities as possible. So I would have rather gone with a Patrick Kruger for the ODIs, actually, thinking about it now.
No, no, actually, yeah. I was a bit. Why am I saying this? Because see, regarding Marco Jansen, see, I think it's a great thing that you have a great competition for the spot of a bowling all-rounder. You mentioned about Gerald Coetzee and Marco Jansen now, Patrick Kruger. You can also put Patrick Kruger in that list also. But I want to just like you say, I want to see him in the ODS squad. But let's see how he performs in the T20 series, how he does well. I mean, we saw how he did well with ball. I want to see how he does well with his bat. Okay, whether he could,
Mm,
kind of does the job of finisher.
mm.
Anyways, apart from them, and Cover Peter, I actually I know many people are very much apprehensive about Cover Peter, but I'm very much what you'd say. I'm very much pretty much happy with what I'm seeing from Nkoper. He has a potential. I think he can solve South Africa's leg spinning issue. That I think so. South Africa has only one good off spinner in Keshav Maharaj and one good leg spinner in Tabrish Shamji.
Mm.
I think so. Nkoper Peter, if he keeps on doing progress, I think so. He has potential. Hopefully, even SA20 can learn something from the likes of Rashid Khan. I mean, I see a lot of hopes on him, and he could be very much crucial, especially in the subcontinent conditions where spins are very important. Uh, Another thing I want to talk about is, see, I know many people is gonna hate me for saying this regarding the ODI team. Okay, I mean, we have been talking last year also regarding Temba Babuma. Okay, see, man, I know many people is gonna hate me for saying this, but Temba Babuma is not suited for white ball cricket, man. I mean, he's a good red ball cricketer. I've seen him, but this man is not suited for white ball, man. I mean, the time and time again he has failed to even deliver, or even or even deliver which is bad, or even deliver which is captaincy when it comes to white ball. So I mean, see, I know many they think that I have some agenda against Tempa. It's not like that. Okay, I talked to you that how Tempa is a good test player. He's a good test player, but what I've seen what I've seen in him when it comes to white ball, it's not. I don't want to be apprehensive, but it's not up to the mark.
No, just give your
Yeah,
opinion. It's your opinion, bro. I can't. We can't tell you that your opinion is wrong or wrong. So
no,
it's
because see,
everybody's opinion is
Khalid,
their opinion.
why am I saying this? Because when I say this thing in the Lawrence Bailey's Twitter account, I mean I got pushback saying that how on what basis you are saying that that Temba is not suited for white ball. See, I mean I'm not saying it out of air, man. I'm saying his performance in ODIs and T20s, man. I mean he has not been delivering which is bad, or neither he is delivering which is captaincy. Aiden Markram, you may criticize his batting, but when it comes to captaincy, especially in white ball, he is delivered, man. I mean, he literally took South Africa to T20 World Cup final, and they were about to win also against India. And I mean, I told you, I think so, when were in the aftermath of the final, that that you should continue with Aiden Markram as a white ball skipper. But this continuous putting Tempa Babuma in ODI. I mean, this is not helping when it comes to ODI World Cup. It will take place in South Africa in 2027,
Hmm?
and also in Champions Trophy next year also. So I think so.
I
Yeah, yeah,
think
yeah.
I think you're spot on when it comes to the T20s. I mean, they've already identified that Temba's not good enough to play T20s. I don't think he can score fast enough. Strike rate, he doesn't have all the modern day variations that you kind of need for the T20 game in this day and age, or the strike rate for T20 to be able to be destructive enough. But in ODIs, I disagree with you, because I know he had a bad World Cup, but he took them to a semi-final of the World Cup. I know he didn't play every single game, but at least South Africa. But he was very pivotal. If you listen to what the players have to say, the coaches have to say behind the scenes, even though he wasn't playing, he had a big part to play with regards to strategies and all of those stuff in the games that he didn't play. He didn't perform with the bat, but he averages 45 with the bat in ODI cricket, which is quite high, I think,
That's
compared to other batters.
say Khalid
And
say Khalid
I
say.
don't
I
want to put
know,
that
I
pressure on
know.
Aiden Markram right now when he's still trying to find his mojo in ODI cricket. I feel again back. I know he did okay in the ODI World Cup, but I still do believe that he is up and down with regards to his batting, and we need him at that four position to be like in amazing form. I don't want to put that pressure of
Hmm.
captaincy on him right now until he gets that form back again, and then we can start to look. I think
Nah,
to
yeah,
change the captain
definitely.
now
Nah,
before a Champions Trophy. Maybe we can, if Timber has a bad Champions Trophy, then I think we should really, really think about it, because
nah.
anybody can have a bad World Cup.
No, no, see, I agree. I agree with you. I mean, I think so. Champions Trophy should be the last, opportunity for Tempa to prove. See, regarding the last year World Cup, see, man, I'm not denying that the kind of role that Tampa played in getting South Africa into the World Cup. I think so. South Africa was not in the verge of getting into the World Cup, if I'm not mistaken. He was very much responsible. But when once in World Cup, some of the decision making on field, and at the same time his injury that he suffered. Okay, first of all, injury happens to anyone. Okay, you can't prevent it. It happens. But my issue was that even after he got injured, he still insisted that yeah, I have to play. I mean, come on, man. Well, you are injured, man. Think about the good of the team, man. And Aiden, he has proved, man, he's a good captain, man. I mean, batting wise, yeah, I can agree. He has some inconsistency. But captaincy wise, he has proved, man. I mean, and he, even in the World Cup semi-final, so I believe that Demba shouldn't have played that match. I mean, you also talked to me that, he is injured. He shouldn't have been, put the teams, in the risk of playing against Australia in the semi-final. I mean, I think so you also admitted also. I believe I don't know. I mean, we had that conversation.
Yeah, in that particular match, I did think about. I said if he's not fully fit, then why is he starting the
Yeah,
match? But I think
yeah,
he felt personally, and
that
maybe the coach felt personally that he's such
that
a
that
good
kind of
player.
that kind of irked me. That kind of pissed me off because why are you putting your team at risk by playing? If you're
I
injured,
don't think
don't
he
put your
thought.
team at
I
risk
don't
like
think
that.
he thought that he was. I think because with some players they play with it when they're injured and they get labeled brave and all of these type of names and being courageous to do so to put themselves in harm's way to try and get the team over the line or try to get the team to win. So I don't think from their perspective they were thinking that that's going to put the team in in
Yeah, yeah.
in detriment because a lot of players play with slight niggles, etc., small little injuries, and they still continue to play. So
No,
I mean,
but
Ryan Rickelton was playing for a whole season with a bad ankle that he should have had an operation on.
mm,
I mean,
mm,
so like players do that. I mean, in all sports. So I think it was blown out of proportion to an extent because we knew about the injury. But I mean, leading up to that World Cup, we wouldn't have a World Cup if it wasn't for Temba Bavuma. You see, there's a reason why we qualified in the first place. So I do think
yeah,
that when it
regarding
comes to Temba and his form, I mean, even with an average of 45, he still gets overly criticized more than anybody else when they go off form. I mean, there's certain times where David Miller, for example, dropped in form. Hendrik Klaassen dropped in form. Aiden Markram has dropped in form. There's plenty of players that have dropped in form and haven't been criticized to the extent that Temba gets criticized. And I just ask for equality when it comes to criticism. That's all, to the level of it. And
man, see,
criticizing a
man,
player of color
no,
isn't being
I mean,
isn't being.
listen, man, I criticize Riza Hendricks and Mark and Klassen also very harshly.
I'm talking
Especially when
generally.
it
I'm
came
not
to
talking about you necessarily. I'm just talking in general.
no, no,
Because
no, no, I'm
if you
telling you,
look
man.
online and you
I'm
look
telling
on
you,
Facebook,
no, Khalid,
it's
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, when I criticized when that World Cup semi-final happened last year, okay, I kind of got accused as a racist and all. I was accused of doing racism and all those nonsense. I mean, I look at it equally, man. I mean, see, I get it. Temba, there is a thing there. I don't want to get into it. I also agree with you, Khalid, what you have said. That Temba is responsible for getting the team to World Cup. I mean, but I think so. South Africa needs to come up with a good opener to in case Temba fails to perform in the next year Champions Trophy. I think so. They need to come up with a good opener when it comes to ODI. I think so. We need that. I mean, Britske and Ryan Rickelton have shown promises. I want to see how they perform. Britske is in ODS squad. Is it? Is it the ODS
uh,
squad, right? Britske Matthews.
I don't think so. Mm, let me just bring it up again. No. So
Okay, okay.
Temba and Tony. I mean,
Yeah.
I would let's see how Temba Tony. I mean, I think that's a good opening partnership, me personally. But I mean, if he has a bad Champions Trophy, then we really need to start thinking about things. I think, because 2027 it is in South Africa, players will be a lot more familiar with the conditions, etc. So I know there's going to be an outcry about certain things, and, in certain conditions we might not do that well at the moment. But I think the most important series are these series now: Sri Lanka and Pakistan. Let's see how he does in that. I
No,
mean, if he's
Pakistani will. Pakistani will whitewash.
no, 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 no.
uh, I mean,
Are you coming down to South Africa to watch it?
see, man, Khalid, no, no, jokes aside, why am I saying this? Because Pakistan is Pakistan cricket is down bad. I'm telling you, it's down bad. I mean, I don't know what the hell are they doing. I mean, why am I saying this? I mean, I think Pakistan will be coming to South Africa, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then, I mean, we saw how they struggle against swing bowling and also. I mean, that's why I'm saying, that you will have a great season in Pakistan. Sri Lanka, I think so you'll be going to Sri Lanka, right? You'll be doing Sri Lanka.
No, they'll
Yeah, I
come. They're
can get
coming
it.
here. They're coming here as
Yeah,
well.
but Sri Lanka side, I think so they're good. I think so. I've seen they defeated New Zealand recently. I mean, the Kamindu Mendes and all the young guys are coming up. Tishan Shanaka and all those guys. I mean, yeah, South Africa might have a very difficult task at hand facing Sri Lanka. I mean, They have great pace bowlers also, and also I mean their test side also is really coming, but especially when Sanat Jayasuriya took over. Anyhow, I mean setting aside Temba Bowman's condition, I think so. I want to talk about other things also. South Africa fielding, I don't understand. I think so. Whether it is due to heat in UAE, I don't know. But South Africa is well known for their great fielding. I mean, we have seen in the World Cup also, last year World Cup also, they're great fielding side. I mean, they're they know how to put the pressure on the batters. With their excellent fielding. But I don't know what is happening in UAE. I mean, Afghanistan series also they were making some lackadaisical, fielding mistakes. And also I think so. Kelly also mentioned about it in today's match also.
Mm.
But I
They
think
can
so. I
improve
don't
on
know.
that.
Yeah, they have to improve. And bowling, I think so. I've been saying this. South Africa's biggest strength is their bowling. I mean, when it comes to white ball cricket in the entire world, I think so. South Africa has the best bowling lineup. I mean, you have Ngidi, Kagiso Rabada, and now with the new bowlers coming like Nandeberger, Coetzee, and all those guys. I mean, you have and also O'Neill Bartman also. I mean, the kind of bowling lineup I mean both in spin department also in pace department also. I mean you are doing fantastic job. And another thing I think so I heard about it. Cricket South Africa has made profits. Congratulations actually on that. It's a great thing.
Yeah, we made
uh,
profits, but I mean, we made profits, yes, but I don't know how much profit that actually is. I know it was a very positive year from the amount of money they made, but whether it cut into the debt that we already had accumulated, I don't know. We'll have to see how
yeah,
that
it's a great
progresses.
That's a great
Yeah.
thing. I think so. I was hearing that South Africa was going through a lot of debts and losses. It's a great thing they finally have got profits, and hopefully they invest in the various township programs and also it will help in further spread of cricket. And SA20 has played a very important role in getting the profits. I have to say this. I mean, of course there are other avenues, but SA20 actually played a very major role, I believe, in getting those profits. And and also I like the initiative that Cricket South Africa has done. SA20 schools, yeah, another great thing. Uh, I think so. In India we don't have that thing. Where cricket is to cricket and all. I mean we have another system, but it's a great thing that you guys are doing. In this way, you could actually spread cricket further more into the townships. And I'm seeing the results, and it's a great thing. Uh, but and also finishing it off, I want to say this. Okay, see, I want South Africa. I mean, I'm very much hopeful that South Africa are on the verge of winning a, I just say in white ball cricket, ICC tournament, whether it may be the Champions Trophy or World Cup. But they are very much formidable team, I think so, and I hope that they perform well. That's what I have to say.
Mhm.
And let's see the rest of the matches. Yeah, another thing, Khalid. I know it's a very funny question. Is South African people are there in Abu Dhabi? I mean, it's quite surprising. I mean, I was hearing all those South African chants and also all those rugby chants and also. I mean, I didn't know that's great thing. At least some South African fans are there. Okay. Any, okay. Thank you for allowing me to hear. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming on and give me your say, Safaraz. Thank you for that top comments over there. Yeah, so my final thoughts. Um, I want to see the opening partnership of Ryan Rickelton and Riza again. Let's see if they can keep that consistency up, and then maybe in the final game you can maybe try something new. See what Matthew Bresky can do at the top of the order with Ryan Rickelton. But I think Ryan must play all three matches. We just needed that confidence booster for Riza Hendricks as well. So I'm glad that he got that today. Ultimately, I want everybody to be in form. I don't want players to be out of form. So I want everybody to do well whenever they get selected, and that's always going to be the case with everybody. Um, so I'd maybe want to see a couple of changes in the final game if we can first solidify this victory, just to get some criticism of our back, etc., and just to take the pressure off, and then experiment a little bit with the team in the third and final T20. Especially now with him not being Brzezinski not being in the ODI side, I would like to see him play as much as he can when he gets a chance. So yeah, we might get an early wicket in the second game, and he gets to play at 3, and comes in a little bit earlier, and he gets to test that as well. But maybe we can chop things around or change things in the final T20, and bring in like a Jason Smith as well to into the mix, to have like a deeper batting lineup as well, and test him um, with a bat too. You want to see how those guys bat, Patrick Kruger, Jason Smith. We know about Vian Mulder as well, but we want to see how those guys bat, as well. So it would be great if everybody just gets a run out and gets minutes under their belt, and does that in this particular match. So let's see what happens with regards to that. I also want to see Andre Berger maybe play a game as well. Get that form back again, that rhythm back again. Has been struggling with that. I'm just happy that Andila Similani is within the camp and gets an opportunity to learn from this experience, being a part of the coaching staff. Coaches get to see him a lot closer in the nets, etc. So that's all really, really good. Let me just get into the live chat and just read some of your comments here about the game. I know you guys are talking to each other in the comments as well. Lauren says, our pace bowling was quite poor tonight, bar Patrick Coogan. None of the pacers stepped up, and that is a negative. And I agree with you there. I think I did say that in my intro. Ireland looked like getting 200, but Kruger's spell turned the match on its head. Uh, they remembered now how to bowl at the death. Or Irish struggled to pick the slower ones. That's. I think that was the case. I think they struggled to pick the slower ones. Patrick Kruger has been shining a light so far has been a shining light so far in his T20I career for SA. Done it with a bat and ball for SA in the short international career. Super impressed by him. Bjorn Fortuin is having a fantastic tour of the UAE so far. Bowled well against Afghanistan and did so again tonight. Not many wickets, but always so economical and consistent. Huge fan. BBG3 says, good to see Ryan Rickelton have some good batting performances. Riza got some good had some good day, got some good day too. Ryan Rickelton is supremely talented gun cricketer, and he deserves a proper, regular opportunities and proper backing from CSA, and they are doing that. They are giving him opportunities when the time comes. Lawrence says Riza brought up his 16th T20I half century today, the most by any Proteas batter, past or present. He might have had 2 poor months or so, but he it's the reason why he won T20I batter 2 years. T20I player 2 years in a row, and that's true, and that's what I said. And I'm not like blindly backing anybody. I'm trying to give equal criticism, criticize players' performances, but like just because they go through a bad patch doesn't make them a terrible player overall. I mean, he scored 2,000 runs today, and he's in an elite group in South African cricket that has done that. Kelly says, right call chasing. Ball came onto the bat better under the lights, and execution of slower ball on point early on, whereas spinners might have struggled under lights. And the dew also played a big part, and I think Ireland was adapting to that as well. It says flat pitch, poor bowling, tons of dew, outfield was wet, ball slipping out of the bowler's hand. So even if Riza scored 100, it does not mean much. Okay. But it means something that Ryan Rickelton scored a half century. Okay. Are you going to use the same theory with regards to Ryan Rickelton's performance? It's very hard to defend scores on the pitch that you did play a role. That's true. But we never use that as an excuse for South Africa when we lose in those conditions. Recent international T20 numbers for SA is so underrated. He also brought up 2,000 international runs tonight, and only Faf and JP has more T20I runs than him. That just shows how important and consistent he's been. I hope Ryan gets a chance in test to not have great confidence on covering as all the time he's dismissed in same fashion, and have some footwork issues. I don't think in T20 cricket they're really looking at Cal, to be honest. Waiting for his under 20 auction on October 1st. Yeah, there's a lot of youngsters that will be involved over there. Let's see if any of them get picked up. Essex could be our next Quinton de Kock. I wasn't lying. His strokes he played was so Quinton de Kock, especially that flick off the pad and the cut behind point. Yeah, we've said there was a lot of similarities, especially in the T20 last season. There was a lot, a lot. Shiraz Campbell says waiting for talented rookies like Tristan Lewis, Jispert Veja, Merrick Brett, Devan Murray, and Daniel Smith. I don't think it's about the win tonight. I'm chuffed in regards to certain players getting back into form and others showing their mettle. Let's go to the end of the year, to the final comments. If there's anything else over here. Okay, this is an argument about transformation. Okay, I can't get there. Let me just see if there's anything else. Lauren saying, Timba averaged 72 in ODI cricket before Cricket World Cup, just by the way. 100%? That's what I don't understand. I know he had a bad World Cup, but leading up to that World Cup, how can we say that he didn't deserve to get selected? It makes no sense if he was the reason why we even flipping qualified in the first place. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in to the show. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Thank you very much for all the comments and for the call-ins, etc. Don't forget to obviously subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell. Subscribe, please, right now. Click that notification bell for all future videos if you're new. Also, smash that like button on your way out as well, and leave a comment in the comment section after we end the stream. It really helps the show out. Also, download the latest issue of Cricket Fanatics magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every month. Link is on the screen as well as in the description. So, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you again after the next game for a review show. Stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your evening, everybody. Peace out.